Yeah, we're back with subtraction of multi-digit numbers. First, a word from our sponsors. Our sponsor today is Slim Jim's Originals. Snap into your math like you snap into a Slim Jim. Oh yeah! Let me get the teacher translator microphone on. Here we go, yeah. So, we're going to look at subtraction of multi-digit numbers. With a problem like this, you have a zero in the middle, and that can get tricky. This is kind of what's called subtracting across a zero. So, anytime I'm subtracting, like with addition, I always start in my ones place. This is my ones, this is my tens, this is my hundreds. I always start my ones place. And I have to finish subtracting each place before I can move on. If you subtract 7 from 3, you're automatically going to mess up. You got to subtract and get an answer for each place value before you move on. So, can I subtract 3 from 1? No. If I only got 1 of something, I can't take 3 away from it. So I'm going to have to borrow. I always say if the number on the bottom is bigger, you're going to have to borrow. So, I'm usually borrow from my next number over, but it's a 0. If I got 0, can I borrow anything from that? No. If you need to borrow a pencil from a friend and they don't have any pencils, can you borrow a pencil? No, not at all. So, I have to borrow across from this 0. I have to go on over to the hundreds. So, I'm going to start at the hundreds. I'm going to borrow 1 from my hundreds. Technically, I'm borrowing a 100 because this is the hundreds place, but you'll usually hear it say I'm borrowing a 1. So, 7 minus 1 is 6. I'm going to turn my 7 into a 6. And I'm going to give that to my 0 right here and turn it into a 10. Now, technically, like I said, we borrowed a 100. So if I had a 10 in the tens place, 10 tens, that makes a 100. So I borrowed a 100 from here to make 10 tens, which is 100. Now, do not solve this yet because we still haven't solved for our ones place. So now I'm going to borrow again. Now that I have something I can borrow from, I'm going to say, all right, can I borrow from the tens place? Yes, I can borrow from here. My 10 is going to become a 9 because I'm taking one of the 10s away. And my 1's going to become an 11 because technically I borrowed one of those 10s from that 10's place to make it 11. Now, I can solve my problem. I can do 11 minus 3. I can count backwards. 11, 10, 9, 8. 9 minus 2. 9 going back 2. 8, 7. 6 minus 3 is 6. So I end up with 678, and this is an example of subtracting across a 0. Hope that helps, and I hope you're having a wonderful day.